Little background, I've only had 2 serious relationships before her. My high school girlfriend whom I was with for 6 years, 16 to 22. And my other girlfriend whom I was with for 4 years, 26 to 30. Both breakups were amicable, no infidelity or shady happenings. They were primarily my fault due to how I prioritized studying and work over them. I'm still friends with my second girlfriend, who is now married to a good man and has 2 kids. In between those relationships and before I met my current girlfriend, I've been keeping things casual, no commitment. I met my current girlfriend 6 months ago at a bar while out with some friends, and as corny as it sounds, it was love at first sight. She was unquestionably the most gorgeous woman I've ever seen. We got to talking, went on some amazing dates, and made things official after 1 month. I was just enamored by her sense of humor, how enthusiastic and exciting she was, and always in awe of her beauty. Although we don't have too many interests in common, the chemistry is tremendous and I've never felt so strongly attracted to anyone before. We already said we loved each other 4 months in, and I truly believe it. But lately some things started to bother me. When she introduced me to her friends, she bragged about me being a doctor. It was seemingly light-hearted, so I laughed and went jokingly bragged about it too. When she introduced me to her parents, she did the same thing, but with a bit more gusto this time. The hints are strong though. Last week we went to a charity event she was involved in, and every single person she introduced me to that night, she said the same thing. Hello, this is my lovely boyfriend and the man I will spend my life with, Dr. Wario. He's a cardiologist, you know. I've always been fairly modest about what I do, so it was uncomfortable for me to hear her gush about my job to strangers. I was feeling uncomfortable but smiled and went along with it so as not to dampen her mood. And the man I will spend my life with part hit me like a speeding truck. She didn't say future husband, but F me if I don't know what her implication was. I love my girlfriend and I did believe prior to all this that I would eventually marry her and have children with her. I didn't expect this to come up just 5 months in. Now I'm fearing that she's just a gold digger and is using me as a provider. She moved in after 3 months of us dating. I truly hope that isn't the case, but the signs sure seem to point to it. And if it is that way, I think I'll break up with her. So I'm here to ask, am I overthinking this, or is the worst true? I pray to God I'm looking too far into this, but now that I'm actually reading what I wrote, this is terrifying. I can't even confront her about this for fear of turning her away from me. Over the last month and a half, she's been talking more and more about marriage and children, although never quite explicitly saying that we would get married and have kids. I can't accuse her of using me for my money and still expect her to stay with me, or respect me after that. Update: she is a gold digger. I was fairly certain of this before I spoke to her. Relevant comment: 7-year age gap, not the biggest, but a 25-year-old retail worker is worlds apart from a 33-year-old cardiologist in many, many ways. Introduces you as a doctor. I get introducing you to her parents as the doctor. That would make any parent happy about the situation. But to everyone else, shouldn't it just be my wonderful boyfriend? Income disparity, again. There is nothing wrong with people from 2 different economic groups falling in love, but the gap has to be relatively large, no. Hinting at marriage and kids. After 6 months, Jude, as much as you don't know her, she doesn't really know you. It's certainly possible that she's just immature, but with everything else. Now onto the story. So all of these things taken together would certainly indicate that she is a gold digger. But I was still willing to talk it out in the hopes that I would be wrong. On Saturday night, I took her out to dinner at a meh-level restaurant. First omen was that she got a bit miffed and asked why we weren't going to an elegant restaurant like we usually do. I said I didn't want to spend hundreds on a meal that night. I could tell she was annoyed. The food at the mediocre restaurant was still great, but she wasn't very happy during the meal. After dinner we came home and I told her I needed to speak to her about future plans. First, I explained that we need to spend less on luxuries and save up for retirement. And for my other projects, this is also true, as I do intend to retire within the next 20 years and I'm looking to get into real estate. She was upset about this. Next, I told her I don't have any interest in marrying soon or having kids yet. This wasn't a lie. I truly do not want to get married or have children yet. She got upset again, saying I'm just getting older, and soon I won't be able to have a family. She said it's not fair to her for me to keep stringing her along without committing, and this caused me to do a double take. What the F? I let her move in. I pay all the bills. I buy her tons of shit all the time. And I'm strictly monogamous. What other commitment aside from the fancy wedding is there? I told her this and she was now visibly frustrated. She said she wants marriage and children soon. I told her she can do that with another person since we're not on the same page. She started yelling at me for being an asshole. So I told her that one day I would marry her, probably within the next 3 to 4 years. I thought this was reasonable enough, but she said she wants marriage now, to be Mrs. Dr. Wario by this time next year. I told her that we could definitely get married early, but only if we get a prenup. She flipped out, screaming that I don't trust her and think lowly of her. I brought up every point. I mentioned everything from the income disparity to the astoundingly fast pace of the relationship to her constant parading me around as a doctor. I told her that all of those facts as well as her present behavior proved she's a gold digger. I told her we're done. At this point she breaks down into tears and is mumbling incoherently. I tell her I'll help her find an apartment and cover her expenses for a month. I called her friend who's on good terms with me to pick her up. She left soon after without much protest. She's still at her friend's. She's been texting me asking if she can come home. I agreed, and she's coming back tomorrow. I'll serve her the eviction notice tomorrow. I plan to help her search for affordable housing, and I'm willing to help her get on her feet. I know she's a gold digger and doesn't deserve this courtesy, but the last 5 months have been pretty great, and I feel it's the least I can do. Eventually, we will phase out into no contact. That's it for me. It's sad that things turned out like this, but it's better to end things now than years into marriage, when I have nothing to talk about with her, because we share almost no interests. She was a gold digger. We're done.
Wow, that was a lot. And I just want to say, he called her a gold digger a lot in his post, and I find that strange, and I also find it strange the way she introduces him to people. It's okay if she introduces him like that to her parents, but to everybody else, that's weird. Both of them should just go their separate way. That's my opinion. What do you guys think? Drop your thoughts in the comment, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.